Welcome to my kitchen. It's obviously in my home. I've got some things already laid out, but before I start touching food, I need to make sure the first thing I do is to wash my hands. So let me give my hands a good wash. Alright, I'm going to dry my hands really well, but I would like to tell you what we're going to make. Today I want to teach you and show you how to make something called monkey bread. Don't ask me why it's called monkey bread. I have no idea why we call it monkey bread. It does not have any bananas in. Let me show you what we have. We have a bag of pizza dough, and you can make your own pizza dough, or you can just have regular bought pizza dough. And just take that one out of the bag. So that one's ready. And I have just one stick or 4 ounces of butter. And I'm going to unwrap my stick of butter and put it straight into a bowl that you can put into the microwave. Then into this bowl, I'm going to add a cup of brown sugar. And I think if you have brown sugar, dark brown sugar or light brown sugar in your kitchen, you would be able to choose to use either one. All right, and I'm trying to get, let's look. I'm trying to get really one good cupful, and this is one measuring cup. So it's fairly full. I'm going to shape that into there. And then the other thing I need to add is some cinnamon. So it's brown sugar and cinnamon and butter. And this is a teaspoon. So I'm going to add a teaspoon of cinnamon to the sugar. Alright, put the lid back on. Alright, and I'm going to mix it up enough so the cinnamon and the sugar have got the flavours of each other all mixed in. This might take me a few minutes. I am trying to be quite careful and not to stir my sugar mixture so fast that I tip it over the edge. I think I'm doing quite well. Oh, I did get some cinnamon on the tabletop. Okay, I think that the cinnamon and the brown sugar, smells delicious, are quite well mixed together. All right, now this is the pan that I'm going to use to put my monkey bread mix in. You could use a round pan, you could use a flat square pan, whatever you have in your kitchen, or a cake tin, but I like using this. It's what I've always used. So I actually saved the wrapper from the butter because it will still have a little bit of butter on the edge. And I'm just going to wipe the inside of my tin to make it a little bit greasy, so our monkey bread doesn't stick to the edges, because there's nothing worse than trying to get monkey bread out and it's stuck. All right, so I have my dough, I have a stick of butter, I have my brown sugar, and I have my bowl that I have greased, or my tin that I've greased. But the butter, I'm actually going to have to melt. You can do this in the microwave, or you could do it in a pan on the stove, but you will probably need some help with this bit. All right, I'm going to put it in my microwave. And I'm going to put it in for 30 seconds. So for 3-0. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Alright, it's not quite melted. So I think it's going to need another 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Now, it's almost melted. I think that there's a few bigger bits. And if I get a spoon, actually I'm going to borrow the spoon from the sugar. I can mix this. And actually the heat from the rest of the melted butter will just help melt those last 2 pieces. All right. All right, come on. All right, everything's melted in there. All right. So with the dough, my dough is quite sticky at the moment, so I'm actually going to add just a little tiny bit of flour to the surface, because the flour will stop the dough from sticking. Can you see how it's sticking to my fingers? All right, let's coat it in a bit of flour. Yours might need this, your dough might need this, and it might not. You just have to decide if your dough feels sticky. Okay, so we have to do quite a bit of cutting, and I'm going to use just a regular knife, butter knife, and it's not sharp. So if you have a butter knife at home, you'd be fine to use a butter knife to do this work. First of all, I'm going to cut 1 piece of dough, and I'm going to cut it into 2 equal parts. Ready? 1, 2. Okay. Then I need to cut each piece again in half. So it's 2 equal pieces. 1, 2. 3, 4. Okay. Now I'm going to cut each one of these pieces in half again, and then we'll see how many we end up with. Some of you may be able to even start thinking about how many balls of dough will I end up with. You start counting. Okay. All right. Might need even more flour. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. There's 8. Now I'm going to cut each piece in half again. Okay. So, I'm going to run out of space. And cut this one, and this one, and this one, and then I'm going to go down to that next row. Can you guys all see from over there? Because I can move the bag out of the way. All right. I'm going to cut that one, cut this one in half into 2, each one into 2 equal sized pieces. Okay, let's have a count now, see how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Now this is going to be the last time. You have to cut each one in half or into 2 equal pieces again. Okay. 1, 2, cut this one in half. Cut this one. And cut this one. Oh, make sure you can all see. Cut this one. And the next row down. Let's cut this one. And this one. Oh, stop sticking. Cut this one. And then cut this one. All right, next row down. So I wonder if you are a kindergartner, whether you could even start thinking now, if we had 16 pieces of dough and you cut them in half, so you ended up with twice as many, so it would be 16 times by 2, because we're cutting each one into 2 pieces. you worked out how many that we might have. All right, you have a few more seconds to think. All right, I finished cutting. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, stay, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32. Look at that. 32 balls of dough. All right, now I know my dough is still a little bit sticky because every time I touch it, it feels sticky. So I'm going to put a little bit of flour onto my hands from my bag of flour. And then I'm going to take one ball of dough and I'm just going to roll it around and around in the palms of my hands, because your palms are this bit. This is the palm of your hand. So roll it around and around into a ball. All right, we're going to do the same thing for every single one. Okay, so now comes the really enjoyable bit where you get to feel different textures. So we're going to take the balls of dough, and I realised that I said balls of dough, but they're actually, there's a proper name for the shape. And if you have ever worked in the sensorial area of the classroom, you will know that the rounded shape with the curved smooth edges, it is a sphere. So I should have actually been using the word sphere. All right, I'm going to take one of my spheres, and 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 with one hand, and then with the other hand I'm going to take them out after I've rolled them around a little bit. Then I'm going to drop each one into the cinnamon sugar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, get it coated in that butter, 9, 10. Okay, now what should happen is that the cinnamon and sugar that we mix together should start to stick to the outside of your sphere of dough. Then from here, you just place it just gently in the bowl or the tin that you're going to cook your monkey bread in. Okay, so I'm going to keep rolling each one of these over. Keep watching. Okay, so I actually have very sticky and very greasy hands. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to wash my hands and then I'm going to come back and see you and show you what you're going to need to do. You're going to have to do something to cover the monkey bread, and you're going to have to be really patient because it's not yet ready to go into the oven. Wait a minute, I'll wash my hands. Okay, now over the top you have to put plastic or a damp dish towel. I'm actually going to use a little bit of saran wrap and I'm going to just put it over my bowl. Okay, I'm just going to cover it. It wants to sit for a while, and we're going to come back to it before we put it in the oven and just see if the dough has grown a little bit. Because it's pizza dough or bread dough, it has yeast in it, and the yeast will start to grow, and the spheres will grow larger and larger. All right, I'll see you back in a bit. All right, let's have a look. Let's see if the monkey bread has grown bigger. Let's take the saran wrap off. I think it has grown. I think those spheres of dough have grown larger, and I think it's the yeast that is inside the dough that has made it grown bigger. What do you think? Now it's time to get it in the oven. Okay, let's handle this very carefully. All right, let's take the monkey bread over to the oven. Make sure that you already have your oven on, and it is at 350 degrees. Because you're going to put something in a hot oven, make sure that you use an oven mitt, and be very careful when you open your oven door and you place your monkey bread inside. This is the part where you may need to have some help from either your mum or your dad, or perhaps an older brother or an older sister. Okay, so my alarm has just gone off for 35 minutes. I'm going to put my oven mitt on and just have a look to see if I think that the monkey bread is done. Now be very careful. You can see how hot the oven is by the red flames that you can see from underneath. Ooh, I think that the monkey bread is done. It smells delicious. I'm going to take it out and put it on the top of the stove with my oven mitt. And I'm going to move it to the back of my stove, so if anybody touches it or tries to look at it, they won't burn their fingers while the monkey bread is cooling down in its tin. Alright, so I've left the monkey bread for long enough now that the pan is not hot, so I can just touch the sides. Before we turn it upside down, you can just use a spatula or whatever you want to use in your kitchen and just loosen it around the edges just a little bit. It shouldn't stick, but you just want to make sure it comes out easily. And then put the plate on top, upside down. And then you're going to flip the whole thing up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Flip it upside down. Give it a little tap, just to make sure it all comes out. Whoop. Oh, some of it's come out. All right, let me loosen the other side a little bit. All right. This may happen to yours, or yours might all come out together. Oh, but look. There's even a little bit of the gooey caramel stuck into the bottom of the pan. You could take it out, but I think that there is probably plenty on the gooey monkey bread. Now where you put the monkey bread in those individual spheres, what will now happen is that you can just pull it apart. And you can just pull out one piece. Let's give it a taste. Mm-hmm. Mm-mm-mm. Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Friends, I'm going to make a cup of tea, and I'm going to invite my family to come and sit down with me and have some monkey bread. We're going to enjoy it as a family. I hope you enjoy yours as a family and you find it delicious and yummy.
Bye.